First off, what a performance from the guys. 6-1, we're pretty happy with the results, able to make up a little bit on the goal difference. You know, we're still not quite top of the table, but just want to give an absolute applaud to all the boys. The vibes were high again. We didn't really let our foot off the gas. We got a little bit slower there in the second half, but we still managed to continue to score and put the game away.
Your son's good,
so
though. That's the difference.
Really proud of what the boys were able to accomplish. I want to shout out our goal scorers. In particular, I think the goal of the match was definitely the beautiful ball from Henry across and Aaron flying and full volley with his weak foot, his right foot, buries it and puts it away. So big shout out to those guys. They came on and immediately made an impact. And that's what we love to see from the team, is everybody contributing. What were you thinking on that finish there, Aaron?
I don't know, man. Just finish the ball, do well, you know?
You did it.
Put it in the back of the net.
Just bury it.
Don't mess up, you know?
So big shout out to Aaron for a beautiful finish and Henry for a great ball and just cooking down that right side. That first half, we really settled in. Defensively, there wasn't a whole lot for Nick to do. He was mostly coming off his line. In fact, the most difficult challenge he had was when he passed the ball directly to their forward just to see what would happen. Good to know that their forward still wasn't able to do anything, but Nick always trying to keep it interesting there and make sure that he's having a good time back there in goal. Appreciate him for stepping in and stepping up. And also want to shout out Henry for stepping into goal, also keeping a clean sheet, and Reuben for having a couple really beautiful saves. Unfortunately, wasn't able to keep the clean sheet, which we'll talk a little bit about defensively, the letdown there at the end and who's to blame. But overall, just beautiful performance, and thank you to those guys for stepping in. One day we'll see Heino and we'll appreciate having him. For now, on that first goal, Braxton could have gotten the initial goal and given Reuben an assist. Instead, he decided to keep things interesting, let it come across his body, have Alex play it back to him and finish. So glad Braxton was able to finish on the second time, which is great to see. And Alex, those guys contributing and having big performances, again, really helped kick things off. That first half, we were moving the ball well. Defensively, we didn't really have a ton of pressure. The back line and our midfield did really well. The vibes were strong, really appreciate that. We get into the second half, Nick comes out and immediately makes an impact, gets 2 goals coming in from the second half, which is great to see Nick out there performing both defensively in the goal and then also stepping up and getting a couple goals and being up there as one of our top goal contributors along with Alex. Great to see that again from Mr. Woolfolk. In the second half, we capped off with a couple more goals. Yeah, Alex stepped up as well, had another goal there at the end. Zach had his first goal of the season, congratulations. Beautiful performance, play from all over. A lot of guys getting on the scoring sheet and stat sheets this week. Let's open it up for questions. Anything you want to say about tonight's performance?
Great first game. I want to highlight Henry for going in goal, Braxton for missing a couple of my passes, Will stepping in the back line, definitely helping us on that own goal. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Great game though, 6-1 I think. Great new pickup from Rico. Definitely way better than me. Probably not going to get as many minutes as I thought I would.
You're getting old anyway.
Yeah, my hips hurt.
Yes, Coach. You went up against the Mario Strikers ref team. Usually the refs are ones giving out cards, but today you guys gave them 6 goals. Was the game plan specifically designed to humiliate the officiating crew, or what was the mentality going into today's match? Yeah, look, Zach gave a really impassioned speech at the beginning about how quality this team was, and the boys stepped up. I do think they were missing a couple of their key players, so I imagine if we see them again in a playoff, it will be a very different team that we play. But yeah, overall, we knew that their relationship being referees was going to be interesting with our ref set. I will say that the officiating crew did a fantastic job overall, calling a really clean, pretty even game. So overall, I don't think that affected us, but we came in knowing that if there were going to be some suspect calls or there were going to be some things that might not go our way, we had to play really clean, and we did do just that. Yes. There's rumors of a locker room mutiny that's happening. Why did the Outlaws give the boot to Ty Missoum from the center back line? Is the front office worried the team is overachieving too much? Can you speak a little bit on Ty and why he's no longer with the Outlaws? This has been talked about for a couple weeks now. There was a miscommunication between his agent and our managing crew. Apparently he was removed from a group. He just became a father. Congratulations. We had him rostered with us in the fall. Ty wasn't able to make any appearances, and appears during that clean-out process, there were a bunch of guys on the group me that weren't on the squad, so they were removed. And unfortunately, there was an oversight where Ty was also removed and not added back in. We've addressed this, and we're going to be putting in some work in the offseason to see if we can bring him back into the fold. Yeah, there's a question around doping, and this was brought up by the in-laws. The question around what is Dr. Pepper? Is it actually just Dr. Pepper, or is it code for something else? The league is starting to ask some questions, and if you could address it, that would be great. Interesting question. I will say that when it comes to Dr. Pepper and performance-enhancing drugs, I can say that Dr. Pepper does indeed mean Dr. Pepper. There's no other PEDs. We have the team regularly tested for drug tests to make sure everybody's abiding by the rules and regs. And I can tell you that everybody is. We are not worried about that. If the league wants to do an inquiry and test everyone, we're fine to comply. But yes, that is what that means. The only thing that we're taking as a supplement is from our sponsor, Teco Yerba Mate. So we do drink this, but this is well within the rules. Organic yerba mate, sweetened with organic stevia, a little bit of caffeine, just the right amount of energy to get the job done. So outside of that, we are clean, and Dr. Pepper does indeed mean the wonderful 23 flavors that Dr. Pepper is known for. Yeah, can you address some of the turmoil that's going on internally?
Why do you hate me?
Dude, you smashed that. Bro, you tried to hit the back of the net as hard as you could.
I honestly don't think I could have played a more perfect ball. It had backspin and sat up on it.
Yeah.
Some shit just doesn't change from high school, Braxton. I'm just saying.
Don't chase.
Yeah, look, I don't know what's going on between Zach and Braxton. I will say that Zach tends to like to dramatize some of these things a little bit. Braxton hates me. He doesn't hate you. You just got to play better balls to make it easier for him to finish. Come on, you know? He's obviously proven that he can score goals. Just for some reason, he doesn't like the ones that the assists that you try to give him. So what can I say about that? Him and Alex seem to be meshing well. So maybe Alex just needs to be one that plays him through every time. We'll see. Over here, yes. So Reuben had a question. He wants to know, is it coming home? It's too early to say whether it's coming home, but if we can get a win this next week, it's going to put us in a great spot. Unfortunately, Alex has been hearing this question and contemplating his whole life, will England ever bring it home? So we'll see. That being said, if we do play our game right, we continue to perform and show up each week, we have a good chance of making a deep run into the playoffs. As the great football coach Ted Lasso would say, believe. And as the other great football coach Nick Saban would say, you're entitled to nothing. So, boys, we got to show up and play our game. But is it coming home? Reuben, time will tell. So this week you've got a battle at the top of the table between the Outlaws and the Inlaws. What's going to be the approach to this match? Can you speak a little bit to what the expectations are and what you're hoping to see from your team this week? We got to come out and play our game. If we played like we did, especially in that first half, moving the ball around, second half in terms of finishing in this last game, we're going to do well. We've just got to move the ball quickly, make simple choices, smart decisions, and not try to force it. We also need to make sure defensively we pick up a couple key guys, one being Alex, who's coaches over at Samford, so he's always on the ball day after day. He's a very quick, smart, good player, so we've got to watch out for Alex there, who's likely to play centrally for them. And then Lath, who's an addition. He's been a feature throughout the league, has been a free agent. He's really good on the ball, great first touch, and really good at finishing. So if we can make sure that we disrupt the ability for those two to play together and play through each other, we've got a great shot at winning. I'll say the other thing that we should do is put pressure on that back line, especially if we can not give them a lot of time on the ball at their feet. There's going to be an opportunity for them to typically play it long or just try to get rid of it. And if we do that well and we're organized in the midfield, we should be able to get some turnovers there and get some good opportunities. In particular, if we can take on the two mats, we'll be totally fine. But overall, I think we're in a great position. They've got some other good players that we'll have to watch out for. But if we can play our game, move the ball around quickly, we will be in a really good position to hopefully capture 3 points. Nick Woolfolk, again, with his third man of the match in a row. Can you talk a little bit about what he is doing and what he did this offseason that put him in a position to both dominate in and outside of the goal? Yeah, man of the match, definitely Mr. Woolfolk. Congratulations. Played well. I do want to shout out some other folks. Henry for stepping up in goal. He played well, had himself an assist, was cooking offensively, and stepped up and stepped in goal when others wouldn't. So really want to shout out Henry. Reuben for also stepping back there. He actually had some really beautiful saves. Got a little unlucky on that last one with the deflection. So what are you going to do there? But overall, I was really impressed with the team stepping up. Charles had a great game. Rico had a great game in the middle. Ty looked good on the ball. Obviously, the goal scorers, Alex, Aaron, Zach, Braxton, all looked great. Kyle was playing well. Ross was playing well in the back. We had Chase stepping in, Reed getting up and down the field, which was cool to see. Question, yes. Do you mind addressing the new addition? Rico finally made his debut. What were your thoughts about him in the middle, and how did he mesh with the other folks around? Rico there in the middle did a great job of helping coordinate our central midfield in a way that we haven't typically had, and I think that really helped us defensively ensure that there really was no threats to us in that first half. The Charlie Rico combo worked really well. We threw Zach in there too, and he was all right. But overall, beautiful job there centrally in the midfield, really helped control the game. We were able to ping the ball out wide and move it across. The team did a good job of not trying to force things, just play the simple pass, easy, keep it moving, and that opened up the game for us and allowed us to dictate the play, which was great to see. Yes, I'd like to ask a question. There was a little bit of coaching going on between Ty and his dad. Should we really bring him in to start coaching the team? I'm wondering, Ty's dad, if he's better positioned to manage the team and, for example, help keep a clean sheet, which it seems to be something you're ineffective at. We are in talks with Ty's dad, actually, to see if he'll come over and manage the team. I don't take any offense to that. I do think that he could be a great addition, and hopefully, he sees things that we don't see. He understands the game at a level that most don't. So I'd love to get Ty's dad involved and hopefully help us tactically, especially as we come up against the top of the league battle and clash this week. Question, yes. You forgot to mention who was the wanker of the week. You mentioned the man of the match. Congratulations, Nick, again. But can you talk about the wanker this week? Yeah, look, I get it. That last goal, I'm already wearing the wanker of the week. Yes, it was a deflection, a weak deflection that went in. It was not Reuben's fault. The stat sheet clarified it as an own goal. It's been said that might be a little harsh of how it was scored, but that's just how the league decided to score it. So yes, I'll be wearing wanker of the week next week. So apologies, boys, for that clean sheet that we gave up there right at the end. It was a weak deflection, could have blocked it. And yeah, just unfortunate. Would have loved to have gotten our first clean sheet for the season, but let's go get one next week. And yeah, I take full responsibility for that. So that's it for this week. Appreciate it. And yeah, let's go get it next week, boys.